You can't find an AR-15 anywhere on the shelf. Hey everybody, Anthony from Tac-to-Pac. I just wanted to do a short video on a budget-conscious AR-15 choice that you might want to check into. I wanted to pick up an AR-15, obviously as least expensive as I could, but still with decent value where I could do some upgrades on it. Use it as a home defense gun and maybe do some hunting with it. We have a lot of wild hogs, feral hogs here in southeast Louisiana, and an AR-15 is a good option for hog hunting. So at any rate, I picked up a Faxon Firearms Ascent 16-inch carbine AR-15, and that's what I'd like to show you in this video. Just kind of a first look at it, my first impressions on it, and then we'll do some later videos just to follow up on how I set it up and how it actually shoots. And I have some plans for it I'll tell you about in a minute. But anyway, let's go through it. This is the Faxon Firearms Ascent. A little bit about Faxon that I read and that I saw. I bought this on Primary Arms. I did not get this on Faxon's website. They were sold out. A lot was sold out on Primary Arms. But I was able to pick this up on Primary Arms for $688, and then it had some tax. I believe it was shipped free. It came, it shipped the next day after I got the local FFL information to Primary Arms. So kudos to Primary Arms. They shipped it out the very next day, and it actually arrived, I think, within 3 days to my FFL, and I picked it up. So it was really, really quick as far as that went through UPS. But Faxon Firearms, they are a division of Faxon Machining. I believe it might be Faxon Machining Company or something like that. And they have done, I think, years upon years of machining in other industries. And they are gun enthusiasts, the guys who own it, or at least the guys who are partners together from what I read. And then they got into machining barrels and pieces parts. And now they recently got into bringing out a full line of pistol and rifle, and so they have a lower budget line and then they have a premium line, and this is the lower budget line but yet still not so low budget that it's basic out of the box. It has some stuff that makes it a little easier to upgrade. As you can see with the handguard, that's not typically a standard option on a lower budgeted AR, and it just overall has a quality and a look to it and a feel to it that seems really, really nice. So let's talk about it and see the specifics on this, and we'll give you a couple little up-close views of it and see what all it has out of the box. Let's talk about the packaging. I mean, that may sound trivial to you, but I was impressed that it came in a heavy, very heavy corrugated cardboard box with a compartment, you know, specifically for the rifle, and the rifle was completely wrapped in this bubble wrap kind of wrapping, but it came out without a scratch on it, and I appreciate that because I've been to some retailers locally, picked up some firearms that I purchased, and they were scratched and scarred up, and you say, well, you're going to scratch it up anyway. I get that, but when you pay, you know, hard-earned money for something, you expect it to be new right out of the box and look the part. You don't want it to look like it was used, and this looked brand new without a scratch out of the box, and so that was nice. It came presented very well with all the stuff with it. It came with a magazine, and this is a Lancer magazine. They call it a steel polymer hybrid. We'll see how that works. It seems lighter than a Magpul mag, lighter than any of the Brownells metal mags that I have, but it's interesting. It's a smoke color, they call it, and we'll see how that mag feeds and how it holds up over time. They give you a couple stickers or a couple patches and a sticker and a lock in the bag, and then the owner's manual. Made in the USA. That's the other thing I liked about it, and you can see that and give you a close-up look down that rail and that hand guard up to the muzzle. And specifically, this is a 16-inch carbine by Faxon. It's called the Ascent, A-S-C-E-N-T, and they make an Ascent pistol as far as I know also. And so the first thing to mention is they say that it has a 16-inch SOCOM profile nitrided barrel. And if you don't know what nitriding is, from what I understand, it is a nitrogen and carbon infused barrel. So it's not actually nitride. They call it nitride coated, but it's not actually a coating. It's a chemical process that changes the metal, kind of like I think the potassium-based bluing that they do. Again, if you're more familiar with all that, correct me in the comments, help me out in the comments. But it's supposed to be a very, very smooth finish that closes up the pores on that metal, and it makes it wear resistant, and so you get a very, very nice bore finish on it that makes it very, very strong over time and resistant to wear. And there are apparently pros and cons to that versus non-nitrided and nitrided. I don't have all that information, but it is something to look up, and if I get more info on that as I use this rifle, I'll definitely let you know. It has a 16-inch 5.56, what they call SOCOM profile barrel, and SOCOM meaning Special Operations Command. And the thing with that, as far as what I have seen out there, it's kind of like mil-spec. A lot of people will say, well, this is a mil-spec manufactured item. I use mil-spec in the manufacturing of our holsters, and it just meets a certain grade that the military specifies that they would like for that particular product. And so you can get different mil-spec products. So this is SOCOM. What I understand, SOCOM typically refers to a heavier barrel that you would find maybe on like the Colt LE model ARs. And so this doesn't strike me as a heavier profile barrel. It actually strikes me as a lighter profile barrel. In fact, this is a 6 pound, a little bit over 6 pound. I think a 6.2 pound is what they say rifle out of the box. And so, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are different opinions on what constitutes an actual SOCOM profile barrel. But nonetheless, it looks like a very fine machined barrel. Next up, it says it has an enhanced forged receiver, and if you know the difference between forged and billeted, forged, the receiver is actually shaped and then machined, and then billeted, from what I understand, they start out with just a raw square block of aluminum, and then it's machined out the way they want it. And so there are pros and cons again to each. They both look good to me. I think the tolerances on this, as far as all the pins and everything else go, it looks like it is mated up to the upper very well, and so it looks very good to me. Again, I'm not the expert, but just from a machining standpoint, it looks like it is well machined and very well thought out, and just like I said, for the budget, a very good looking rifle. Next on it, it has the carbine length gas system. That's self-explanatory, carbine length barrel, and then it has the carbine length gas tube that you can see, and that is important to have the right length gas tube with the right barrel, so that you do not wear out the barrel prematurely or burn up the barrel prematurely. And so that the ejection of your rounds takes place properly. Has a mil-spec charging handle, and it looks, it doesn't look cheap to me. It looks the part. And the bolt carrier group looks good as well. Again, we'll see how they function. But everything looks really, really good on this rifle. It's got your standard M4 stock. I may upgrade that to a Magpul stock. I haven't decided. I'll see after shooting it and how comfortable or uncomfortable it is. Has the A2 pistol grip on it, and the A2 birdcage flash hider as well. And so the other thing that I did like about this out of the box for the price is that it's upgradable. It gives you a platform to work with. You'll never, I don't think, be disappointed with the core of the rifle. Again, you may want to change the stock. You may want to change the grip to get that a little bit of a better angle on the grip. as far as the handguard, the upper and the lower go, you're going to be, I think, satisfied with this rifle as far as a base to start with. So my plans for it are to include a scope, some backup sights. I want an offset red dot, and then a white light on it for home defense. And as I said, possibly hunting some feral hogs. And I thought it was a good price point at the right time, and it was something I could work with to upgrade. So I'll keep you posted on that. As always, thank you for making the choice to defend yourself and those you love. Again, put your comments, your suggestions, or questions down in the comment section, and I'll be happy to interact with you, and I would be more happy for you to interact with me and tell me you know, what you would upgrade on the rifle, what you would do with the rifle. As always, God bless you and yours.